Hey Pirates, how's everyone? So, I was confused about the Phlogiston 2 launcher turret. I suppose a lot of people were. And I reached out to Kixeye and asked a few questions about it. And I followed up a couple times, and they were kind enough to share a few answers. So, I asked them 5 questions. They actually answered all my 5 questions and 2 more, which is cool. So, here we go with 7 things you wanted to know about the Phlogiston 2 turret but were too afraid to ask. Or maybe not, just didn't care. Anyways, uh, disclaimer, the information I have here was provided by Kixeye through Major Rampage after validating the design team, so I'm assuming it's all correct. I did not spend countless hours testing and validating everything. I'm just trusting the information that was provided to me, which makes sense. So let's go. First of all, turret overview. This turret is new. People can only have 2 of them at most. I hope it's re-released soon. It's a low accuracy turret, medium reload every 5 seconds. It does a very good damage per projectile. So it fires 8 pellets and each one does 181,000. When they stack enough of them, it deals a shockwave, and that shockwave will deal 900,000 damage, which is a lot. Okay, each hit that actually hits the enemy stays there for 30 seconds, counting towards that shockwave. Okay, the turret also has a 20% fire field chance, not change chance, dealing 1,000 radioactive DPS, and that triggers resonance on your ship if your ship has resonance battery or capacitor or something like that. These turrets, they add to the radioactive bonus, so the moment you have 2 of them, you're already getting 50% extra on the damage. Pretty cool. The typical setup, most people disagree there is a typical setup, so let's just say that's my setup, okay? Radium Reserve Special on the left, plus 40% reload, so it goes from 5 seconds to 3 seconds, just for that special. It has a launcher supercharge times 3, meaning each hit that hits the enemy is going to count as 3 hits towards a shockwave instead of just 1. Okay, it also increases the shockwave damage by 20%, so it goes from 900,000 to 1,080,000. The second special, radioactive isotopes. This one makes the projectiles move faster, okay, from 300 to 525% projectile speed. The accuracy, extra 75%, so it goes to 125% accuracy. Some people still get confused, how can it be over 100? And it's very easy. Say your enemy has 50% evade, and you have 125% accuracy. You divide that by 2, and you're working with 62.5 of your hits. Your projectiles will hit. The remaining 38% will miss, on average, right? That's not, it's statistics, so it's a distribution over time. This special also gives plus 50% damage. So if we think about it, right? The special is giving 50% damage. It goes from 121 per shot to 271 per shot. Then I have a transformer, the DTR, to give it extra range, minus 20%. So this guy now has 217,000 damage per shot. But remember, there's the radioactive group bonus of 25% per turret. So you gotta add 50% on that. So it's pretty much right now at 320 something thousand damage per shot if you use this setup with 2 turrets. 300 and something per shot. That's the deflection you have to have if you want to avoid being damaged just by the 8 projectiles it fires per round. Not even talking about the shockwave for now. So that's the introduction. Let's go into the 7 questions. Number 1, where's the shockwave? People have the turret in their bases, they don't see the shockwave, and that's because it's currently broken. Major Rampage confirmed their plan is to have a fix on update 8.31, which is not this week of July 23rd, it's next week of July 30th. So whenever they release Tuesday, Wednesday, they plan on fixing the launcher, so it's actually going to stack and it's actually going to shockwave. Number 2, how many stacks you need to trigger a shockwave? According to Kixeye, 15. So a turret fires 8. You have a special that makes them count times 3. So those 8 count as 24, but some of them will miss. Okay, the moment 15 of them hit your ship, within the 30 seconds it takes for the oldest hit to go away, to unstack, you have a shockwave. Shockwave will hurt all the ships within the shockwave range. So if you have all your 5 attackers stacked, all 5 will take damage. Keep that in mind. Okay? And remember, the radioactive isotopes will increase accuracy. So you want that guy to give the extra accuracy. You want the radium reserve to do the ×3 launcher supercharge. So 15 stacks within 30 seconds gets you a boom. Number 3. Is the shockwave damage affected by base faction? So if you pick the river faction now, is it going to change your shockwave damage? It's not. It's still going to be 1,080,000, but it will increase the damage per projectile, which was already at 320-something thousand. So now plus 20%, you're going to be close to 400, like 380-something thousand per projectile. It's a lot. Number 4. Is shockwave damage reduced by turret resistance? I always thought it was. And I was surprised to say when Rampage replied to my questions that no, it's not. So that 1,080,000 shockwave damage, when it hits, does not get cut in half by your turret resistance. It's going to hit in full. You take 1,000,000 damage from that. It hurts. Ouch. Number 5. Radioactive damage bonuses. So radium reserves, for instance, right? It has only a shockwave damage. So that increases the shockwave alone. Radioactive isotopes has plus 50% radioactive damage. And some people are like, oh, would that also increase the shockwave because it's also radioactive? Yeah, no, it doesn't. Apparently shockwave damage is a special butterfly or special snowflake, as some people like to say. It's not affected by specials that affect radioactive damage. Let's keep going on the same train of thought. And number 6, transformers. Will they increase or decrease shockwave damage? No. They only affect the regular damage by the projectiles. They will not reduce or increase shockwave damage. Number 7, so how about fields like fire support and stuff like that? Is it going to increase shockwave damage? No. So it all affects the regular projectile damage, but not the shockwave. And those were the 7 questions. I hope that helps you understand the turret. It's very, 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 very powerful. Conclusion. How do you defend against that? Well, I couldn't find any of the current conquerors that are unreactive. So I'm assuming they're all going to just stack. All right, for the 30 seconds. So either you outrange the turret, and I hear someone there saying explosive scope or penetrative scope. Yeah, you're right. You need that. Or you're going to have very, very, very high evade. Okay, and so as you go against the turret, you got to kill it before it stacks enough on you. Or you're going to have to find ways of getting a very, very high radioactive deflection. The only weapon giving radioactive deflection now is that cannon D55V, I guess, that came with the Impact Cruiser. Each cannon gives you 100,000 radioactive deflection. That's your go-to weapon if you want to face these guys and you cannot outrange them. But really the best solution is outrange. One thing I didn't put in here, pinch rockets are your friend. So use pinch rockets on those turrets. I hope this was a useful video. See you next time, parts.